What up, y'all? DCFAYGOGUY. Welcome back to another episode of What's Happening Now. We've got some shit to talk about. Some shit dropped. The Gathering, mere days away. I wanted to do this video before then, because I feel like maybe there's some things that's going to happen at the Gathering, some things that's going to come out at the Gathering, that we're definitely going to want to make a video about next weekend. So I wanted to get this one out so it's not like a lengthy ass video. Unless you guys are enjoying the hour-long videos, which, if you don't know, if you haven't seen, if you haven't watched them, I've done 2 ranking videos for albums, ICP and Twisted, and both of them clocked in over an hour long. So I hope you guys have been enjoying those. There are going to be more of those coming down the road, but some shit has been announced, Gathering related, big time, and I can say with 100% certainty as of right now, Megs and I are not going to be at the Gathering this year. It's a mere day. It's like 4 or 5 days away. We've done zero planning, made zero preparations. We're not going to be there. Maybe next year. So who you can see at the Gathering, along with all the artists that have been announced on the lineup, you can also see the homies from Deck One Dealt. If you see them on the grounds and you are fans of theirs, you're gonna want to go say what up to them. Not only will they have some stickers, and they usually always give out some stickers while they're there, they also have something of a surprise for everybody. And I got a sneak peek of it at Camp Zool. It's fucking dope. Trust me, you're gonna want to go hit them up and find out what the big super surprise is. And make sure you tell them the homie DCFAYGOGUY sent you. And you don't have to do that. There's no like bonus prize in it for it. But if you see them, you recognize them, you know them, you love their podcast, make sure you go say what up to them, get some stickers, get the ultra super dope surprise that they're going to have for you guys. So let's jump the fuck into this. First off, right off the big bat, Skits Craven bailed out. Honestly, I was not surprised by that one little bit. I think at one point, it wasn't actually Skits Craven. I was actually putting money on Rakim not showing up at the Gathering. The reason why is because of Tech Nine's Blown Away. If you've never heard that song, you go listen to it. But he has a verse in there talking about Rakim and how he didn't show up because he didn't want to go on before Tech Nine. So as soon as I seen he was booked for the Gathering, I'm like, I'm gonna bet money right now he's not gonna actually be there. So I'm gonna be watching for that. So, but the big news, and I really am gonna focus a lot of this on it because it's super fucking dope. I'm gonna make it like the headline, if you will, of the video. But first, I want to jump in and talk about something that I had seen. Violent J was on Talks Hit, which, if you don't know, is Manny Too Fresh's podcast that he has. If you don't know who Manny Too Fresh is, you need to go watch The Shaggy Show. He's been on The Shaggy Show with Shaggy as kind of like a co-host. So anyway, Manny asked the big question. The next Joker's card. When can people expect it? Have they started on it? What's, are the wheels turning? And Violent J straight up says no. That he's not feeling inspired. He has the concepts for like 20 songs. He's got beats picked out. And he's got some like loose concepts written down, but he has not recorded anything because he's just not feeling inspired, and he doesn't want to put out music if he's not inspired, especially a Joker's card. And when I heard that, I said, yes, thank you, fucking thank you. Because if you guys remember when we did the video talking about the revealing of the name of the next Joker's card, which we haven't really got that confirmed yet. Hopefully we get that at the Gathering at least. But you guys remember me saying that I really hope that they take their time on it, and getting that confirmation from Manny Too Fresh from the Talks Hit podcast was like, yes, thank you. I want them to do this right. I've said it before. I'll say it again, probably till I'm blue in the fucking face. I said it all over my goddamn ranking video. And people were probably really surprised by that. Or maybe they weren't. A lot of people watch my reviews and know how I feel about ICP. They've never disappointed me. And I don't want this to be the start. So I want them to do it right. Because Bloody Sunday was honestly the first time that anything from anything from ICP that they put out has really disappointed me. And then, the Quest for the Ultimate Groove, Professor Shags came out. And it really kind of disappointed me as well. It wasn't quite what I was expecting either. So, maybe I had a shadow of doubt, but hearing Violent J say that restores that faith. I'm like, okay, Take your time on this thing. I'm like okay with this taking a year or two because this is the 6th. It's a big one. It needs to be given everything to be perfect. So Violent J said that he hasn't done any kind of recording. The only recording he has done is for the song Gummies, which did drop yesterday. I'm recording this Saturday evening, 10 o'clock at night. Jesus Christ, it's late. I've been up since 5 a.m. too, so this could be a wild ride because I'm kind of tired. Went and split wood this morning, so I'm tired. But they released the sour cherry variant of the Gummies song. The Gummies song that was released is supposed to be part of like the VIP package. The VIP experience has one that's called Sour Apple. This one was supposed to be part of, and I'm just going to pull it up here, ICP's Dead Rockstar Seance, which is like it's not like the VIP meet and greet. It's like a VIP experience where they like take you out in the woods and do things to you. You know, they did the Bigfoot one, they did the alien one, and they've done some other ones. They're very neat. They're very interesting. They're $300. And this one comes with a Dead Rockstar Seance laminated pass. It comes with the Sour Cherry Gummies collectible CD, only 200 of them made, a Dead Rockstar Zombie Amulet, and a Skeletal Hatchman hat pin. A quick meet and greet experience with ICP just before the seance begins, and the privilege of participating in Faygo Armageddon Thursday night during the climax of ICP set on the main stage. So that's what that one's going to be. And, you know, the VIP experience is different, but it comes with a Gummies single called Sour Apple. Now, what I don't know, are they going to be the same song, but just different beats? Or are we going to get a whole different track completely with different beat, different artists from The Gathering? The Sour Cherry one was like 14 minutes long. It had fucking Esham, Ouija Mac, Darby O'Trill, DJ Clay was on there, Whitney Payton was on there, King Gordy was on it, Kung Fu Vampire was on it, fucking Wacko the Kid was on it, of course ICP was on it. Who else am I missing? I think that might be everybody. That was everybody that was on it. I actually have it pulled up here, and I was going to like fast forward it to the end because they show you everybody. So there we go. ICP, Darby O'Trill, DJ Clay, Esham, Kung Fu Vampire, Ouija Mac, Shaggy the Airhead, Schizo. Oh yeah, Schizo, which that was a surprise for me because I don't even think Schizo's performing at The Gathering, and he signed to Monstar Entertainment, which is Light's label. So cool. I love that they did that with fucking Schizo. And then Wacko the Kid's on there, and Whitney Payton is on there. Which they also dropped a song. Wacko the Kid dropped a song, I should say. The fuck was it called? I don't even remember what it was called. That's how I forget. Oh, it was Bloodbath. That's what it was. It was like a single to kind of promote the little weed strain that they're going to be having at The Gathering. I didn't listen to the song, but I saw the little Instagram clips, and I'm kind of unanimously with everybody else. And like, yeah, it was bad. So I went into the sour cherry gummies single, like, please don't be bad. I actually really enjoyed Gummies quite a bit. The beat was really catchy. It switches up at different points. I think it switched up during Ouija Mac, switched up during DJ Clay a little bit, during Darby O'Trill, a little bit during Whitney Payton. There were some breakdowns in it, so it wasn't like the same one, but I actually really liked the beat that Devereaux had for the overall song itself. The chorus really held it together, because a lot of times with posse tracks, I get bored really quickly just because, you know, you're hearing the same song over and over, just different people spitting differently, and sometimes people don't always flow the best over a beat. I think everybody absolutely fucking brought it. A lot of people have been giving praise to Darby O'Trill as having the best verse. I personally think I want to give it to DJ Clay or maybe Whitney Payton. I think they fucking had the best verse for me, but every fucking body brought it. Everybody delivered on that track, I think. So that single's out. If you haven't listened to it, it's actually good. I think it's good. Again, catchy beat. Absolutely loved it. I thought it was very well put together. Mixed by Kuma. Kuma's the man. Kuma for the 6th. Kuma for the 6th. Even if he's mixing, Kuma for the 6th. So yeah, that single is out. I can't remember if there was something else I was going to say about this single or not. But yeah, let's move on to the next big highlights, and that is the Gathering program has been released. Usually the last several years, and I honestly can't even remember the first year that they did this, But for the past several gatherings, ICP have been putting the program up for viewing and downloading on the gathering website, which I think is really cool. To me, as someone who's going to the gathering, it almost takes away from the experience of getting there and getting that book and looking at all the announcements that are going to be in it. So I'm kind of torn on how I feel about them doing that. But for everybody that's not going, it is also cool because you can get fucking hyped for shit that's coming up. And one of the things that I want to highlight is the Train of Terror tour, which is a Hollow Wicked tour. It's been a minute since they've done one. The last one was the Traveling... This is a mouthful of a tour name. It was the Traveling Freak Show Silver Jubilee. I've already butchered that. It was one that they did for the 25th anniversary of Hollow Wicked. And I don't think they went to too many places. I know they hit Indiana and I was there. But that's the last time that they've done a tour. And I think, to the best of my knowledge, 2018 was the first Hollow Wicked tour they went on since 2008. I think. Because 2009 was the Bang Pow Boom tour. 2010 was... did they go on a Hollow Wicked tour for that year? It's something that they used to do, sort of, like 2006, 2007, 2008. I think 2005 they did. But there for a while, they were going on these little Hollow Wicked tours. And I thought it was really cool. That was my very first concert, was Hollow Wicked 2007. I went to Hollow Wicked 2008. And then, you know, obviously, like I said, I went to the Hollow Wicked 2018 tour. And then 2019 is when I popped my cherry and went to Hollow Wicked in Detroit. And having been to both a tour and Hollow Wicked in Detroit, one thing I will say is these tours they're very awesome. And for people who can't make it to Detroit, it's a great way to get a piece of that flavor. But nothing, and I'm sure Echo Side Fiend's in the comments right now, fucking happy as can be, or maybe just in his apartment, happy as can be. But nothing compares to experiencing Hollow Wicked in Detroit on Halloween. So if you have the means to do it, you've got to scratch that one off your bucket list and go at least once in your lifetime. There's nothing that compares to going and seeing ICP in Detroit on Halloween. The Gathering doesn't even compare to it. So if you've been to plenty of gatherings, if you've been to Big Ballas, if you've been to Juggalo Day, you've got to scratch Hollow Wicked off your list, because going and seeing them in Detroit on Halloween is something special. Absolutely fucking definitely experience it once in your life if you're a Juggalo. So it's very cool that they're going on this tour. As of right now, since I've been saying I'm not planning to go to the Gathering, as of right now, I think a lot of people are also now wondering, what about Hollow Wicked? I did have a couple people who have already asked, am I planning to hit up Hollow Wicked? And as of right now, the answer to that is no. Echo Side Fiend is now in his apartment mad, like, God damn it. Here's the thing. Hollow Wicked this year falls smack dab in the middle of the week. You know, the last couple of years, thanks to like leap years and shit, it was, you know, towards the weekend. I think Hollow Wicked fell on a Monday or a Tuesday of last year. It fell on a Tuesday. Hollow Wicked fell on a Tuesday. So this year it's falling on a Thursday because of a leap year. So I could probably very easily get the time off, but here's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm kind of thinking next year it's going to fall on a Friday, so that feels like a better time to go, because then I can request Thursday, Friday, have Saturday and Sunday off, and fucking make a weekend out of it, which is what we did last year. We took a couple of days off and made it a weekend thing, and made a full trip out of it. So probably not going to Hollow Wicked this year. I am going to hit this tour, assuming they come to Indiana. If they don't come to Indiana, then probably not. But I also want to go to Night of the Zooligans. You know, I've said in a few videos in the past that Megs and I have been talking about wanting to experience some different events. So Night of the Zooligans is definitely going to be up there. If this Hollow Wicked tour comes to Indiana, I am sure that Megs and I are going to go to it, because we haven't been to an ICP show this year. The last show we went to from ICP was Hollow Wicked last year. So very cool that they're going on this tour. But again, if you have the means to do it, go to Hollow Wicked in Detroit. You're gonna fucking love it. It's a whole different experience. And now to the meat and potatoes. I'm scrolling while I talk, so that way you guys don't have to sit here and listen to me ramble like a motherfucker. The big one for me, I've been fucking commenting on it. I guess I haven't been commenting. I commented on the Faygo Lovers post. I shared it. If anybody knows me, there's one thing I've been waiting for. And it's here, baby. Fucking the return of DCGCon. They announced Jugle Weekend going down in Worcester, Massachusetts. One of the biggest clown towns out there. Maybe even the biggest. Fucking Mad Max has been on Twitter saying that, like, people don't know. He's been trying to say what the fucking... he's been saying for some time how big of a clown town Worcester is. I used to hear Beastmaster say all the time how big of a clown town Worcester is. I think Ronebone from Beneath the Dirt has talked about how big of a clown town Worcester is. ICP themselves have said that Worcester is a big fucking clown town. So, like, I want to go to this Jugle Weekend and finally scratch that event off my list. When I saw the announcement, I immediately texted Ron. I said, I guess I'm going to be fucking seeing you at Jugle Weekend, because I know he lives in that area of the country. So for him, it's a doable event for him to go to. So I got super excited seeing that the fact that the DCGCon was kind of partnered in with it. I was like, yo, I'm there. But then I had to kind of like really think about it. And I need to wait until it's closer to time, because it's in February 14th and the 15th. It actually falls on Valentine's Day, which I think is very interesting. The thing about this is it's February. It's New England. I live in Indiana, and I know some of the snowstorms we get in February. So, like, I want to go to this, but to make it work right, I want to make sure the weather is going to be right. So, like, I want to, like, make plans without making plans, if that makes sense. Because I don't want to make plans, invest money into this, just to have to cancel all those plans because of weather. So... and I know I could fly out there, but I think Megs and I would prefer to drive out there. So there's a lot of factors for us making it to that, but it definitely has my attention. And my biggest takeaway from this announcement is the fact that the DCGCon is finally fucking back. I've been waiting for this since the last DCGCon they had. If you've not seen the videos I've made several. Fucking love the DCGCon. The vibe there is so much more different than fucking the Gathering. It's different than any concert. The setting is, it's a convention, and they have like different areas set up with tournaments going. So if you've ever gone to the tournaments at the Gathering, it's like that but expanded. So they have different areas. They'll have like a Juggalos Against Sanity tournament going on. They'll have an Into the Echo Side tournament going on. They had a fucking Quest for Shangri-La tournament going on. They had a Morton's List section. It's very much catered to the Dark Carnival games, and the vibe there is so chill. They have tables set up everywhere. They have a games library where you can rent games and play it, including the ones going on for the tournaments, along with others like Monopoly and shit. So it was just a really fun event. And you know, the one that I went to, I only went to the first one. I wasn't able to make it to the second one out in Denver. But they also had like some VR fucking little pods, I guess you could call it. You would go in there and you could like have little VR games that you would play. They had a fucking wrestling ring with the little like, you know, the Q-tip looking things with the foam on each end so you could battle. And Crazy McCormick tried so hard to get me to go in there and battle him as kind of like at the time I was still with Carnival Spirits, and he was part of a group called Juggalo A Day. And he kind of wanted to do this like special fun event where it was like me representing Carnival Spirits versus him representing Juggalo A Day. But I'm such a fucking introvert, and I was like, there's no way I'm comfortable getting up in that ring. And it is something I do regret not doing. So maybe they have that and him and I make it to a DCGCon again. You know, maybe I could, maybe I could do something to get myself a little bit looser and go in there and actually have fun and just fucking live a little. I need to come out of my shell more when I go to events, because I feel like at Camp Zool, I just was in my shell. I wasn't out of my shell enough at Camp Zool, which sucks, because like it was my first time going and I really wanted to, you know, not be in my shell. It's something I got to work on. But anyway, fucking DCGCon is absolutely fucking fun. If you're planning to go to Jugle Weekend and say maybe you're not into the games at all, I think you should still go check it out just to kind of get the vibe for it, because it's super chill. It's super very like hangout. It's, you know, when people say that they go to the gathering to kick it with their homies, the DCGCon is you kicking it with your homies. And, you know, like the first DCGCon and the second DCGCon, they had concerts each night to like as like an after party. And obviously that's kind of what they're going to be doing with Jugle Weekend. It looks like, and if I had to guess and speculate, I would say the 14th, they'll have day 1 of the con, and the 15th will be day 2 of the con, and each of those nights then will be the Juggalo Day performances. So it's going to be a big event. I kind of hope that this will eventually be like the segue for them to break the DCGCon off and have it be its own event again. That's my hope. But my big takeaway is the fact that it's back, and I'm super fucking excited because I've been waiting for this. I literally went up to fucking Jump Steady at the gathering last year. Megs was participating in the Into the Echo Side tournament. I looked right at Jump. I said, hey, when are we getting another DCGCon? And he said he was working on it, and god damn it, I'm so fucking happy to see that it's back. Even if it's piggybacking already another event, it's back, and I'm happy for that. So fucking happy for that. And I hope that they break it off and make it its own event again. The first one was in April, and I feel like the second one was also in April. And that to me is like perfect, because then you have Juggalo Day, or Juggalo Weekend rather, in February. You'd have the DCGCon in, you know, maybe late April, early May. You could have the gathering then in late July, early August. Then you have Hollow Wicked, obviously, on Halloween, and then Big Ballas. And those would be the big 5. The Ultra Live, Monster 5 Juggalo events of the year. Which, whatever happened to that? They just, like, did away with it. You know what I mean? I only ended up with 3 clout tokens. I don't have the other 2, or 1, rather. I guess I don't have the 5th one either, because it hasn't come. But, yeah, they just kind of, like, just stopped doing that. That's, yeah, interesting. But, yeah, the DCGCon, it's back. Juggalo Weekend, announced, going down February 14th and 15th, live in Worcester, Massachusetts. And, like I said, we are planning to go, but we're not planning to go. We want to wait till it gets closer to time to make sure, you know, we're going to have our ducks in a row before we just, like, start pulling triggers. So, yeah. The last thing I want to talk about, I want to plug, I've talked about him plenty of times before, Stray, killing it. Doing some shit with Funtime guys. Officially Funtime Gang. He's got his own luchador mask and everything. Had this really cool shirt at Camp Zool with him wearing it. Cartoonized. Doing a collab EP. Or a collab album. Oh, it's an EP. It does say EP right here. Available 8/16/24. He's dropping a fucking EP called Black Summer with Samson. He did a teaser on his Facebook, like, I think it was a week or 2 ago, where he said that he had a collab project coming up and nobody would be able to guess who it was with. And I definitely did not guess it at all. I've seen some people say something like Funtime. I honestly was going to guess like maybe Gibby Stites or something like that. But yeah, I didn't see Samson as I didn't see that coming at all. Which, if you don't know who Samson is, he's been on some low-key stuff. And he fucking kills it. He was on Creep. He was on Burn off of Let's Get Violent. And those are probably the 2 biggest ones that I think most people might recognize him from. Because I know Let's Get Violent is probably one of, you know, it's a fan favorite for a lot of people that do fuck with low key. Which, it's like my fucking slogan. I'm going to get tattooed on my fucking forehead. If you're not fucking with low key, you're fucking up. But yeah, Dirt Court and Rogue Hollow present Black Summer, Samson, and Stray, dropping 8/16/2024. And I just realized there's another album that I want to plug because it got announced too, and it's Dirt Core as well, and that's what reminded me of it. So I'm going to kind of loosely talk as I'm searching this up really quick because I can do it pretty quickly. But Mad Max just announced as well. A little taste of things to come. This is what you can expect to see with a little bit more frequency now that I'm working with a full professional team. It's been a struggle, but I wouldn't feel right going the whole year without putting out anything at all. Maybe a single coming soon, but definitely September 1st for the whole thing. So September 1st, Mad Max is dropping an album called Dirtcore 24. Super excited because fucking Kaleidoscope dropped last year, I think September 1st. Yeah, pretty sure that was when it dropped last year. Absolutely fucking great. That was definitely a top contender for album of the year last year. If you haven't listened to Kaleidoscope, go check that out. But yeah, Mad Max has Dirtcore 24 dropping September 1st. So if you're a fan of Mad Max, you probably already knew about that. If you're not familiar with Mad Max, go check him out. Mission Infect in the motherfucking But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for me. So tell me down below what you guys think. Are you fucking excited that the DCGCon is making a return? Do you think they'll break it off and make it its own event again? Or do you think they'll piggyback it with other events? I hope they I hope they break it off. I can get piggybacking it right now, kind of seeing how people are feeling about it. But I would love to see it make a full fucking return. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. But anyway, tell me what you guys think down below. I thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.